Have you ever wondered how certain foods might be subtly influencing your life, your mood, even your decisions? It might sound far-fetched, but there's a growing awareness that what we consume, what we put into our bodies does more than just nourish us. Some foods, surprisingly, could be used as tools of control, not just by corporations or marketers, but, in a spiritual sense, by forces that want to keep us blind, distracted, and less aware of our true power. Today, I want to talk about 3 common foods that the devil or the negative forces we often talk about uses to keep us trapped, to keep us from living the abundant, victorious life God intended for us. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical. That's okay, but stay with me. Let's explore this idea from a perspective that combines faith, health, and personal empowerment. Because the truth is, what we eat can either set us free or keep us bound. And understanding this can be a game changer. The first food on our list is refined sugar. It's everywhere. You find it in sodas, candies, baked goods, even in seemingly innocent foods like flavored oatmeal or bread. We crave it because it triggers the dopamine rush, giving us a quick feeling of pleasure. But that pleasure is fleeting. What's happening beneath the surface is more insidious. Refined sugar is a powerful tool for control, because it keeps many people in a cycle of addiction. It dulls our spiritual senses, clouds our judgment, and even impacts our mental clarity. When we're addicted to sugar, we're less likely to seek spiritual growth or to be alert to the subtle ways the enemy seeks to manipulate us. Think about it. When you're constantly chasing that sugar high, your focus is on satisfying immediate cravings rather than pursuing your divine purpose. That's exactly what the devil wants. He wants us distracted, enslaved to temporary pleasures instead of living in the fullness of our divine identity. The Bible warns us about the dangers of gluttony and overindulgence, which often go hand in hand with foods high in sugar. It's not about denying yourself treats, but about recognizing how these foods can subtly break your discipline and dull your spiritual sensitivity. So, what's the solution? Start by being more conscious of your sugar intake. Read labels. Choose whole, natural foods. Fruits are sweet, but compact with nutrients and fiber that help stabilize your blood sugar. When you resist the urge for that processed candy bar or soda, you're making a statement that your body and your spirit are more important than temporary cravings. You're reclaiming your health and your freedom. The second food that the devil uses to control us is processed foods laden with artificial additives. Think about these foods: fast food meals, snack chips, flavored cereals, and microwave dinners products filled with preservatives, artificial colors, flavors, and chemicals. These ingredients are designed to be addictive. They're engineered to keep you coming back for more, creating a dependency that can take over your life. Why does this matter from a spiritual perspective? Because these additives can dull your mental clarity, disturb your emotional stability, and even interfere with your prayer life and your ability to hear God. When your body is filled with chemicals, your spirit is often compromised. It becomes harder to discern truth from deception, to stand firm in your faith, or to operate in the spiritual gifts God has given you. Moreover, many of these processed foods are linked to inflammation, fatigue, and mood swings. They drain your energy and make it difficult to stay motivated, focus, or inspired. When you're sluggish and emotionally unstable, it's easier for negative influences to attack your mind and your heart. The devil loves to keep believers in a state of fatigue and confusion because it weakens their spiritual armor. What's the antidote? Opt for whole, unprocessed foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, lean meats, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Cook your meals at home when possible. Not only does this give you better control over what you consume, but it also helps you connect with your body on a deeper level. As your body becomes healthier, so does your spirit. You become more alert, more sensitive to God's voice, and less susceptible to manipulative influences. The third food that often gets overlooked but is incredibly powerful in its influence is artificial sweeteners and diet products, things like diet sodas, sugar-free gum, and low-calorie snack bars. Many think they're making healthier choices, but these artificial sweeteners are chemical concoctions that can do more harm than good. Some studies suggest they interfere with gut health, disrupt your metabolism, and even trigger cravings for more sweets, creating a vicious cycle. From a spiritual standpoint, these artificial substances can be seen as a form of deception. They promise health and weight loss, but often bring hidden dangers. They can also desensitize your taste buds, making real, natural food taste bland in comparison. When your palate is numbed by artificial chemicals, you may find it harder to appreciate the natural goodness God has provided in whole foods. Furthermore, artificial sweeteners can impact your mental health. Some research links them to increased anxiety and depression, which are often rooted in spiritual battles. When your mind and mood are out of balance, it's easier for negative thoughts and spirits to influence your life. So, what's the solution here? It's simple: ditch artificial sweeteners and focus on natural, whole foods. Use honey, maple syrup, or coconut sugar in moderation if you need a sweetener. Your body and spirit will thank you, because real food connects you to God's creation in a way that chemicals simply cannot do. Now, I want to make it clear that this message isn't about guilt or condemnation. It's about awareness and empowerment. The enemy wants us to remain enslaved to these foods so that we're physically and spiritually weakened. But as believers, we have the authority to choose differently, to break free from these subtle chains, and to walk in health and freedom. Remember, your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. When you nourish it with foods that align with God's creation and His design, you honor Him. You also position yourself to be spiritually alert, emotionally balanced, and physically resilient. This is about taking control of your life, making intentional choices, and reclaiming your divine authority. Let me encourage you today. Start small. Make one change at a time. Swap out that soda for water with lemon. Choose whole foods over processed snacks. Read labels and become more aware of what's in your food. These small steps add up. Over time, they will transform your health, your mood, and your spiritual life. And remember, you are not alone in this journey. Seek support from friends, family, or community groups who share your goals for health and spiritual growth. Pray for wisdom and strength. Ask God to help you discern what's best for your body and your soul, because ultimately, He wants us to thrive spirit, soul, and body. So, the next time you're tempted to reach for that processed snack or sugary treat, pause for a moment. Remember that what you consume can either serve as a tool of control or a weapon of freedom. Choose life, choose health, choose to walk in the fullness of God's blessing, because when you do, you're not just improving your physical health, you're strengthening your spiritual walk. You're standing firm against the enemy's schemes and stepping into the abundant life Jesus promised. It's time to take back control. It's time to be deliberate about what you eat, what you allow into your body, and what you allow into your spirit. You have the power to make these changes. You have the authority to walk in victory. And with God's help, you can break free from the subtle foods of control and begin living the life of freedom, health, and purpose that He has prepared for you. Stay encouraged, stay vigilant, and remember, your choices today shape your tomorrow. Choose wisely, because your best life is still ahead.